Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Rizano, and welcome back to another episode of the world famous, the University Love, the best podcast at 1, 2, 3 galaxies. But ladies and gentlemen, we just call this show Online Marketing Moves, and we are coming to you live today. Today is Friday, September the 3rd, 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, come on in, come on in, come on in. I know you missed me, I've missed you, but today we are here to talk about building a story brand, a book that I read by Donald Miller. It's a very good book. And on the cover, it says very clearly, clarify your message so customers will listen using the 7 elements of great storytelling to grow your business. Now, I recommend you read this book. I don't care if you go to the library. I don't care if you buy it. But I do recommend you read it. And it will help you out, help me out, clarify a lot of things. The one thing that you want to get before you can start counting zeros in your bank account, before you start counting the freedom, the time freedom, the money freedom, before you can start counting any of that stuff, one of the most important things that you need, ladies and gentlemen, to grow your business is you need some clarity. You need one message. You need to make it as simple as possible so people will understand what you are doing. So people can understand what you are about. And trust me, the more clarity you get, the better you will be. It took me a long time to understand that. Now I'm going to just tell you from my perspective. It took me a long time to figure that out. Why? Because I'm the type of person who just goes in sort of first, and I try to figure things out while I'm doing it. I plan, eventually I will plan. But in the beginning, I normally just get started and I'm like, let's see what happens. So, you got to go through more muddle than somebody who's going to plan first, have everything figured out, then they start, So, hey, there's no right or wrong way to get into your goal, okay? Doesn't matter. If you're like me, you just start doing stuff and then you figure it out. Or if you already have it figured out, then you start making plans and everything like that. Doesn't matter. But eventually we all need to have a plan. Eventually we all need to have clarity. And so one of the most important things that you can do besides being consistent is have clarity, because you don't want to, every brand, doesn't matter. Big company, small company, doesn't matter. Every company has a clear and concise message. The most successful ones, anyway, they have a clear, concise message. What are we about? What are we doing? Okay. So, in order for you to become the success that you want to be, in order for you to become the success that I want you to be, you must learn about clarity. You must get the haze out, get the fog out. Have you ever tried to drive down a road and it's foggy? It's not good, okay? And then one of the best things that you can do, you're driving down the road, it's a little foggy, and then eventually you'll keep driving. This happens all the time. If you ever driving over a lake, you ever driving by like a river or something like that, it'll be a lot of fog, okay? You're driving through the fog, can't see that good, and then eventually you drive like 10 miles, and then boom, it's sunny, it's bright, it's clear, the road is great, it's a beautiful day, and you're like, now let's get down to it. You can drive the speed limit, or you can go on about your business. So that's what basically clarity is. You want to have a vision. You want to see the thing. You want people to be able to look inside your business and say, okay, this is what they do. Gotcha. Have you ever, I was in LA once, and we went to a Krispy Kreme. It's mighty funny about this. Me and 2 of my best friends from the Navy, we went to a Krispy Kreme, and inside the Krispy Kreme, you could see where they made the donuts. And if you never heard of Krispy Kreme, if you never walked into it, I saw them making donuts, and I said, oh, okay, this place makes donuts. That's the kind of clarity that you want when it comes to your business, okay? And so the more you get that down pat, the more you're able to tell your story, in a clear, concise message, the better off you will be, the more money you will make. And at the end of the day, I don't care what anybody says. You want to make Now, I'm not saying you have to be a billionaire and all that, but you want to make as much money as you can, okay? And because, listen, what are we here for, okay? You want to make money because you eventually you want to leave the job that you have, or maybe you want to switch careers or whatever, but you want to make as much money as possible. And the more clarity you have, the more consistency you have, the better off you will be. And it will help you grow your business a hell of a lot more than not being consistent and not having clarity. And so the book, Building the Story Brand, will help you out. It has 7 elements. I won't go over all the 7 elements today because I'm not going to bore you with that. Read the book for yourself, and it will definitely help you out. And whatever you want to do, it doesn't matter what kind of content you want to create. You want to have a sort of, as we talked about this Tuesday. If you ever watched a show, they go through the storyline. It's like a reality show. They have the same kind of story arc. They have a clear, concise story they're telling. Okay, and so that's what you want for your business. That's what you want to do so people will understand what you are about, because you just want to build on that. All the great companies have a message. All the great companies have, sort of a theme, So let's say Amazon. First, Amazon was a book company. Now they've grown from that. And now Amazon is, 2-day shipping, fast. You order from Amazon, what do you expect? Boom, you expect fast, you expect efficiency, things of that nature. When you buy an Apple phone, when you buy an iPad, an iPod, when you buy a MacBook Pro, you expect the best. Okay, you expect a great product. A little expensive, but you expect a great product because Apple has great products, and Apple has positioned themselves as a leader in technology. Even though the iPhone 10 is the same as the iPhone 4, just bigger, better camera maybe. But I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But yeah, they have themes. And if, there's a podcast that I highly recommend, and I listen to it every Monday. And it's How I Built This by my boy Guy Raz, okay? And every week you can hear somebody's story. Every week you can hear about how it was an insurance company. They talked about how they produce a lot of content so people could start learning more about insurance, and it helped them out. Or I listened to the story about this guy. He created RX Bar, and he talked about he had a great message, and he catered to people that worked out and did, I think, paleo diet, something like that. And it helped them grow and grow and grow, to like a $600 million business, something like that. And so you don't have to, your story is not going to be for everybody. Okay. Your company is not going to be for everybody. And when you keep that in mind as well. Your content you produce is not going to be for everybody. The content that you put on the YouTubes, the podcast, the writing is not going to be for everybody. And so once you get that out of your mind, okay, don't try to cater to everybody because you can't. You would not be able to, okay? Everybody, hey, listen. My mother, who I love to death, she used to listen to this podcast on a regular basis. This podcast is not for my mother. She's a 67-year-old woman who retired from being a nurse for the last 40 years. She does not care about building a story. She does not care about building a brand. She was only here to support her son. And I greatly appreciate that. But she stopped listening. And I said, that's okay. I said, hey, listen, it's not for you. Eventually we're going to change and we're going to grow. And then this podcast is going to formulate, and it's going to be for a certain mass of people. And you're not in that. And that's okay. I told her that. I said, it's not for you. And as you well know, I told you, I'm going to start doing more about copywriting. Going to start doing more just about straight marketing, how to market yourself, things of that nature, telling stories, things of that nature. Before we was kind of muddled, and it just started off as something, affiliate marketing, this kind of stuff. But, we've moved on from that. and I'm going to try to do different things. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a commercial break, and we're going to come back and we're going to finish the podcast. All right. Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Rizzano, and this is another episode of the world famous, the University Love, the best podcast in 1, 2, 3 galaxies. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we just call this show Online Marketing Moves, and we're coming to you live today. Today is Friday, September the 3rd, 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, come on in, come on in, come on in. We have another packful show today. You know, Tuesday we talked about storytelling, and it's important to your business. It's important to you. It's important for you to be able to have a concise, nice story, a nice, smooth, flowing story, and talk about different books you can read, different things you can watch to learn how to construct your story. And we talked about this. You know, your story doesn't have to be a out and out lie. You know, and we all have a story. We all have something we can tell, whether it be a company or whether you're doing personal branding. It does not matter. And today we're going to talk about this little book. We can talk about a couple of different things, but we're going to talk about this book that I read in Building a Story Brand. And you should check it out. It's a book by Donald Miller. And he talks about using 7 elements of great storytelling to grow your business. And on the cover, it says, clarify your message so customers will listen. Because we all know people buy from people that they like. There's a reason why. I remember growing up in a little town, we had an insurance guy. We saw the insurance guy all the time. You know what? People bought from him. You know why? People bought from him because they liked him. He, excuse me, he related to the people. I remember once he went on a 2-week vacation. They had another guy come. Nobody bought from him. Everybody was like, "Yeah, we're good. We're good." Then everybody just said, "Hey, where's Michael? Where's Michael?" He's like, "Michael's on vacation. I'm the rep for 2 weeks." And everybody said, "Well, when is Michael coming back? When is Michael coming back?" Everybody liked Michael. You know, people bought from Michael because they like Michael. Also, Michael, he liked to relate with the people. So every Friday he will be around the liquor stores, we called it, and he would he would be drinking with the people. So he was a likable guy. But people buy from people they like. But yeah, it's a good book. The book by Donald Miller just talks about, you know, telling the story, you know, branding your story. Because all companies, you know, from Walmart, Sam Walton, he had a story. Amazon had a story. Every company has a story. Every company has a brand. And a lot of times, if you keep going back to these companies, like my parents, they love Walmart. Walmart, they get their medicine, they get groceries, they buy stuff. Walmart is like their hub. You know, they love it. And I asked them, "Do you ever go to any other grocery stores?" And they go, "Nah, not really. We go to Walmart." And you know, the only time I think they might go to another grocery store is when they want to play the lottery. But other than that, Walmart is their jam. You know, they relate to Walmart. Walmart relates to them. Walmart is about, when they first started, it was about small towns. You know, bringing lower prices to the people in smaller towns and, you know, smaller communities and things of that nature. So my parents, they relate to Walmart. So, you know, and Amazon, when they first got started, they was about books. They was about selling books. And, you know, they didn't want to be like Barnes and Noble. Barnes and Noble was, you know, big bookstore chain, and they had all these other bookstores, but I think Barnes and Noble was like the top one. And Barnes and Noble, their books are kind of expensive, but Amazon said, we're gonna sell books for a little cheaper, and we're gonna ship them out to you and try to get them to you fast and all this kind of stuff. And it worked out. And Barnes and Noble, they never got on board with the online thing. Jeff Bezos, he saw where the world was shifting to about online. He started it, and boom, boom, boom. And you see last year during the pandemic, Amazon probably doubled, tripled, quadrupled, I don't know, their net worth or whatever. So, you know, but every company has a brand, every company has a story. You know, Apple, Steve Jobs Steve Jobs, he started Apple with somebody. They fired Steve Jobs. He came back. He helped create he did create the iPod, which led to the iPhone, the iPad, yada, yada, yada. Now that is the core of Apple. They make sleek products for an expensive price, in my opinion. But hey, once you start using, it's hard. Once you start using Apple, it's kind of hard to get away because you get it's congruency. So it's like you get an iPhone and it's like I need a tablet. And why would you go off and get another tablet when you can get the iPad and it can relate to the iPhone, and then it's a whole thing. But all these places have branding in the stores. All these places have a clear message, and you want your message to be clear as possible. I was reading this book by Dan Kennedy, and he said you want to be able to tell your story in a single sentence. So if you could explain what you do in a single sentence, you are winning the game. So think about this. No matter what you want to do, internet marketing, doesn't matter what you want to do. If you can get it down to one single sentence, then boom, you are doing excellent. All right. And want you to focus on that. And because, the point of this whole thing is at the end of the day, you want to be able to build not just a business, but you want to be able to build something that's sustainable. You want to be able to build something that you can maybe take a 3-day, let's say you take 3 days off. 3 days off, you have your emails all uploaded, your podcast all uploaded, YouTube uploaded. You walk away for 3 days, the money's still coming in. You come back, you're like, hey, I made, let's say $500 a day. You made $1,500 in 3 days. You didn't even look at the phone, you didn't look at the computer, you didn't look at anything. You still made $1,500. At the end of the day, the most important thing that you can do is build a system, Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't copy anybody else's system. That's dumb. Build your own system. Build something that works for you. Build a system. I have a friend. He has 2 or 3 donut shops. He has built a system. He can go on trips. He can come back. He's like, hey, I'm still making money. You know what I mean? That's a system. That's a great system. My wife, she's built herself a system. She's been off for a month, with our baby, and money's still coming in, and she's built herself a system. And so you want to build yourself a little system of income that you can sort of walk away from and be happy with when you come back. You're like, look, the money's there, The hardest thing to do is get up, go to work. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with this, but the hardest thing to do is for you to get up, go to work, and because you trade in time for money, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's not gonna make you rich unless you're the CEO of Coca-Cola. But if you're like me, if you're like a lot of people, I drive a truck when I'm not doing. I make money online, and I make money online, and it's cool because people download the podcast, people watch my YouTube channel when I'm not there, people buy the affiliate links when I'm not there, and I'm like, all right, I'm making money. But in order for me to make a paycheck at the job that I still have, I have to go get up, drive in my car, go to work, have to, check in, drive around for 8, 9, 10 hours, and then make the money. It's not like I can just sit at home and they're gonna pay me just to be chilling at home. No, it doesn't work like that. I get paid for my online stuff. Even when it's like there's been a few times I check out the downloads and it's like 300 downloads in a day, and I'm like, awesome, making money, and I haven't even done anything. So you want to try to create a system. I need to create a better system, but I'm on my way to building a system for myself. You want to try to build a system for yourself, whether it be investing, whether it be real estate, does not matter. Internet marketing does not matter. You want to build yourself a little system that you can have, that you can say, okay, this is the thing that I do to make money. And whether you keep your full-time job or not does not matter, but you just want to build yourself a system. And so having a story, having a brand, having a brand, having a story, storytelling will help you be able to build your system. Okay. Can you imagine you doing YouTube videos and you do enough YouTube videos that you crank them out once a week, twice a week, and you build up enough subscribers to where you can put out one video and then boom, boom, boom. Every month you're making like $5,000, $10,000 a month just from being on YouTube. That's pretty cool. So you want to make sure you are working your way to building, a system, So learn storytelling, learn how to brand yourself, learn how to market yourself. We all have to get better at that. And we will talk more about marketing yourself. We will talk more about marketing, the thing that you do, to people, how to get yourself out there, whether it be not only on the internet, because hey, listen, there's more than one way to skin a cat. Okay. And there's more than one way to get your name and your recognized out there besides being on the internet. You might have to write somebody a letter. You might have to write somebody an email. You might have to send them a postcard. You might have to send them a gift. Does not matter. But what you want to do is whatever you want to do, whatever the goal is, you want to find the right people, because one of the most important steps that you can do, especially if you want to free yourself from a job, the most important thing you can do is get a base, get a thing where you can start making money quickly. Okay. You want to build something where you can get one stream going, one stream of income besides your job. Once you do that, then you can start building your system. All right. So keep that in mind. The faster you get to that, the faster you will be able to build out your system. Because the hardest thing to do is try to go to work and build a business, And if you can be financially stable enough to not have to go to work and build the system, you'll do it a lot faster. All right, trust me, I know. But and we'll talk more about marketing yourself. We'll talk about more about how to get yourself out there in the coming weeks. And I know we're doing Tuesdays and Fridays for right now for the next month or so, but we might go back to the daily podcast. It just depends. We have to see, but we definitely will. We definitely will start diving deeper into all these subjects, and hopefully you'll join us. And like I said before, no question of the day, but if you have questions, you can always email me. We won't make it a question of the day or question of the week, but I can always reply in a chit chat. So that way we can all get to know each other. But email me at tony@onlinemarketingmoves.com. And if you haven't already, go to, if you want to read some articles that I wrote, go to medium.com. Check those out. If you want to see some videos I posted, go to YouTube and just type in Tony Rizzano. If you want to see some of my photography, you can go to Pexel, PEXEL.com, and just type in Tony Rizzano. You'll see some pictures I've started taking pictures of, a little amateur photography I've been doing. So, we're out there. And so we'll be back Tuesday with the all new episode of Online Marketing Moves. And we'll drop bonuses here and there, a bonus, podcast. But until Tuesday, take care of yourselves. Check out the book by Donald Miller, Building a Story Brand. Listen, if you want some tips about hearing about different stories, different companies being built, this podcast that I listen to, How I Built This by Guy Raz, is very motivational. It's very inspirational. You get to listen to different people, from RX bars to Starbucks, to all kinds of places that have started a company. They built the company, and from the ground up, and tried to figure this thing out. Some stories are better than others, of course, but they all had the same thing. They all took action. They all decided they wanted to make a change, and boom, boom, boom. There you have it. All right. So we'll be back Tuesday with all new episode of Online Marketing Moves. But until then, my name is Tony Rizzano. Take care of yourselves. And as always, everybody, peace.